From suburbs across the nation, a new generation of MPs is coming to Canberra.
My first go, but I'm going to make the most of it.
Some are joining expanded Labor ranks in government, but there's no pleasing everyone.
I'm a Liberal supporter.
It's been 8 weeks since Sally Situ won her Western Sydney seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, the member for Reid.
Savouring the taste of victory with the new Prime Minister the morning after Labor ended almost a decade of coalition government.
It has been a real roller coaster. I think the moment will hit me when I'm standing in that chamber and realising that I am a federal member of Parliament.
Oh!
Someone of substance in town, apparently.
The daughter of refugees who fled the Vietnam War.
My family were Chinese heritage. They were born and raised in Laos.
Her story is similar to many in the Reid electorate, where almost 1 in 5 people have Chinese ancestry.
Good to meet you.
Miss Situ will join the most diverse parliament in Australian history, with more women, more faiths and more First Nations people.
Finally, the House of Representatives is living up to its name. It is starting to really look like the community, and I think that's a really great thing.
Hello, how are you going?
Not far away in Western Sydney, another MP is preparing for Parliament. Independent Dai Lee secured the once safe Labor seat of Fowler, defeating the high-profile Christina Keneally, who attempted to parachute into the multicultural electorate. A former refugee who fled Saigon in 1975, Miss Lee spent 4 years in camps before arriving in Australia.
There's some other diverse faces that entered Parliament this time. I think it's going to be an exciting Parliament to see how that's going to really impact the culture of Parliament as well.
She's also part of the biggest crossbench since World War II, as urban voters walked away from the major parties.
I think we will probably be collaborating. I think the word is collaboration.
And straight down the lens there, that's it.
Dai Lee will sit alongside 6 new independents who are vowing to push for greater action on climate change and integrity. And they've already met to talk tactics.
Thank you very much.
It was really great to see a bunch of women coming together. Although we're diverse backgrounds in terms of the electorates that we represent.
But their influence is limited, with Labor controlling numbers in the lower house. It's a different story in the Senate, where one new face is used to a fight.
Pocock, you freak!
A former Wallaby captain turned senator, now facing a new challenge.
Yeah, there have been a huge number of meeting requests.
David Pocock is a man in demand. For Labor to pass legislation, it needs support from a record number of Greens and 1 crossbencher.
Pressure's all part of it, and I think that's already started. Everyone has their agenda and has their point of view.
We're such a small community.
This week he'll become the first senator to deliver a first speech with an Auslan interpreter.
Seems like the right thing to do.
A different parliament in search of different outcomes.
Things around housing and cost of living, people are sick of all the talk about it. They want to actually see the parliament get on with developing policy and strategies that can actually start to address these things.
The Prime Minister also wants to do politics differently, pledging a more consultative approach. But the now opposition is promising a contest.
While some people might think that's combative, it in fact is more a sign of a healthy democracy. When a government has a good idea and a great policy, we will support it. The 46th Parliament was dominated by cultural problems that shocked many, sparking a reckoning and a landmark review recommending a cultural overhaul.
This Parliament has to be better than the previous Parliament in terms of conduct.
Class of 2022.
Anti-bullying training is now mandatory for MPs, and a code of conduct will soon set a new standard.
There's a very clear expectation sent from the Australian community about what they expect in terms of conduct and behaviour from their parliament. We've got recommendations to improve on that. We need to get going and deal with it.
The 47th Parliament will look different and, if promises are kept, act differently too. Changing a political culture that's appalled Australians is vital to restoring trust in Parliament and democracy.
It may take a while before we can build trust with the community again.
No, I'm probably pretty realistic and pragmatic. It's not going to change overnight.
No one is promising a quick fix. Henry Belot, ABC News, Canberra.